Hi Vidya, it's always so nice to have you on the Quint.
It's always so nice to see you.
You remember you recently did a AMA session and you shared in that a screenshot of an article that you were reading. It
Right, right,
was
right.
how Kate Winslet insisted that her bulging belly be kept in Mare of Eastwood.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, as someone who has always broken stereotype, how significant do you think this is from an A-lister in Hollywood?
It's absolutely fantastic because, I've been trying to do this for a while, and I have to say that people don't quite understand why I keep saying, no, please don't touch up my body. They keep feeling like, oh, everyone wants to be thinner, and you're not even really thin by the conventional standards. So why would you not want to be thinner? And I'm like, because people like me the way I am. They've been very kind and they've shown me so much love for who I am. I don't want to change that. And I don't want to fake it. I don't want to touch it up. I'm okay with my under eyes. I'm okay with, unless, sometimes the fabric is like, there are lots of creases and all that. I'm okay with touching up all those. But I'm not quite okay with tampering with the body or face. But a lot of times people say, okay, we won't do anything. And then they still do it. So, there have been times when I've been disappointed. Then when you hear of Kate Winslet doing it, it feels like, wow, hats off.
I swear, hats off to her, and what a show it was. What a
Yeah,
wonderful
absolutely.
show. Loved it. Okay, like you were saying, there have been times that you have been disappointed. A lot of times. Can you tell me there are if there has been times where you have been requested to change your look when it comes to your body, even when the character doesn't require it?
No, so many times. I think up until Shakuntala, every director would have a conversation with me and say, can you lose weight? Can you please lose some weight for the film? And I would say, listen, but this is my body, and if I could lose weight, I would have anyway. But obviously, there are some challenges there, and what you see is what you get. But because I don't think your character requires another physicality. But if you feel the character does, please go ahead with another actor. I've said this to so many directors, you will not believe it. But I think Shakuntala, for the first time on Shakuntala, Anu Menon is the first director who didn't have that conversation with me. And
But do you think it is
be
because
so
she's a
grateful
woman?
to her for that. I think so. And, I think she's very, she's also very cool. Yes, it makes a huge difference that she's a woman, but I think she's also very cool. She's accepting of people as they are.
Okay, coming to Sherni, Sherni is used as a metaphor.
Yeah.
When you see the trailer, uh, as, because your character who is also trying to fight her way in this man's world. Any particular incident that you remember in your everyday life where you have to fight patriarchy, like how?
When I was newly married, I'd get very offended when people would say Mr. and Mrs. Siddharth Roy Kapoor. I just don't get that concept of Mr. and Mrs. I just feel that I am Vidya Balan. I am married to Siddharth Roy Kapoor. I haven't taken on his surname, not because I love him any less, obviously, but this is my identity. Why should I have to compromise it? And people who've known me, sent me cards saying, congratulations, or, we invite you to so and so event. And I'd be like, what? I'm definitely not coming. These are such subtle ways in which patriarchy shows up.
And fighting them sometimes can be really, really, it takes a toll on you because you're fighting with your own people.
Yeah. And what's interesting and also unfortunate, Abira, is that sometimes we do it ourselves. When it's done to us, it bothers us, but sometimes we do it ourselves. We are as much perpetrators as we are victims of patriarchy. I remember I was not okay with my father doing the Kanyadan. because it basically means that you're handing over property. But finally, I gave in because, my parents said, this is our traditional, we're doing it the traditional way. And the Pandit said, no, but I won't do it if there's no Kanyadan. So finally, I just ended up doing it. So, but I did feel that, I'm not property to be passed down. So I think some rejigging is also required.
Coming to this, when you were shooting in that jungle, in the middle of a jungle and in a set, shooting in a set, it's two different ball game.
Absolutely.
Tell me how it was to be in the middle of a jungle, so vulnerable, and at the same time you have to make sure that you are keeping the balance alive where you're not disturbing the wild.
I didn't feel threatened, or I didn't feel insecure or unsafe in the jungle ever. I don't think any of us did. Of course, there were restrictions on when we could shoot in the jungle in terms of timings, where we could shoot. And like you said, we had to keep the sound decibels down and all that. But I actually felt very at home in the jungle. And I think this was the most peaceful shooting experience I've ever had. So there was no, it was the most uncomplicated shoot in that sense. I was always intrigued about, I wanted to learn about the forest. So I would speak to the locals. We had an expert on set. I would be talking to him because I don't know much about the jungle.
My next question was exactly that, So I got to know from one of the person from your set who is a friend's friend, and he told me stories about the jungle when you guys were shooting. Okay. So I wanted to know this from you. You know how you already know how the jungle and the people living in it and around it, they make this, they are all codependent on each other.
Yeah.
When you are shooting for, in these kind of places, like you said, you hear stories and you love talking about what incidences happen and how things happen. Can you tell us any story from the jungle that gave you that goosebumps, or that's something you will never forget? Because that story which I heard, I keep thinking about it over and over again. I will tell you that after you tell me your story.
Yeah, mine were not very dramatic. I have a feeling that what you're going to tell me is very dramatic. But people who live in and around the jungle, I think they have they're very attuned to changes in the jungle. So they know how the animals and birds respond to changing seasons. They know everything about the plants. They know when a plant is dying, when a tree is dying, when a tree is sick. They know what to do as a remedy for that. Even the littlest child. And then of course they talk about the moon cycles and how that, it is fascinating. It's mind-boggling.
So I'll tell you the story that I heard from one of your people on set who told us that there was this family, a small baby, a year-old baby, and the husband, wife, I think the husband was an official in the forest official, and they were staying close by, and they were on a elephant, and they were going, and a tiger not attacked the elephant. Tigers never attack elephant, right? He pounced and he scared the elephant, and the elephant got scared, and in that shaking and everything, the child fell down and the tiger took him away. So the forest official jumped to help, try to get the baby back, but the wife said, don't do that. You can never win a tiger. Never. So I have lost him. I can't lose you. So after a few days, they found the baby's clothes. Okay. But that man still works with the official trying to save the tiger. Now that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. I've also heard of stories like that where there are snake rescuers who've been bitten by the snake and still continue to do their job. Those kind of stories, of course, I've heard this. Of course, the story you shared shocked me. I hadn't heard that one, but yes, I've heard of similar stories, and I don't know what kind of, I think they just take it as part of life. They accept it. They embrace that as a reality. I don't know, it's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of living.
Coming to working with Amit Masurkar, I mean, he has done Newton. Have you watched Newton?
Of course I have and enjoyed it.
Tell me, how was it working with him and what sets him apart?
I think he's very unusual. Everything about him is unusual. The way he thinks, the stories he picks, his approach to performances, his vision. For example, as actors, he's constantly pushing you to shed any form of performance. He expects you to be absolutely real at all times, and sometimes knowingly, unknowingly, you do slip into convenient or familiar ways, but he was always pushing all of us to just be real, real, real.
Okay, tell me, who is your real life Sherni and why?
I think I am my real life Sherni. And I think every woman is a real life Sherni. Because that dialogue in the teaser of Sherni encapsulates the spirit of every woman, which says, "Jungle kitna bhi ghana kyun na ho, Sherni apna rasta dhoond hi leti hai." Isn't that true about all of us, navigating our space, navigating our way through this mad world?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you, my Sherni. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Lovely talking to you. Take care.